Do you recommend whole phases after breakups?
It depends on how the breakup went. If
Agreed.
if the guy broke up with a girl, maybe got cheated on,
Yes.
go for it. Why
Go for
not?
it.
Why not go for it and
I
do
think
what
some
you
people
want?
need it. I think it's totally, again, situational. I think some girls like really need to have that, again, affirmation afterwards. But I think that hoe phase, a little
Probably
questionable,
why-
because can a guy go through a hoe phase his whole life?
Also, it may not make you feel the best after, but if it's a temporary thing, why not?
But I mean, how could a woman really benefit from getting railed after a breakup by multiple dudes?
How can you benefit from sticking your dick in someone,
I mean, if she's getting an orgasm, then
which doesn't happen every time?
she might be feeling a little bit better.
You think sex is the same for guys and gals?
No, I think guys benefit every time and girls don't.
Yeah.
Would you cheat on him with your celebrity crush?
Yeah. He knows that too.
I do know that.
How do you feel about that?
It hurts a little bit, but I do know how much she loves Harry Styles. So it would suck, and I don't know like if it actually did happen, like I don't know how I'd feel about it, but I know how much she loves him, and I don't know.
I don't know if I actually
I don't think she would.
I don't know if
I
I
really don't
actually
think she
would
would.
do it. Like if it came down to it, I don't know if I actually would, but I do love Harry Styles. So,
But you don't know Harry Styles, you know him.
but I think I know Harry Styles. He just seems such a great guy.
Would you bang your celebrity crush?
Absolutely not. No, not over her. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
That was
not.
so nice.
Absolutely not.
Now I feel bad about my answer.
Do women feel bad when they treat guys like trash?
Women feel bad. Oh no.
Women feel bad.
No, shot.
Women feel bad after the fact when they treat a guy like trash and then they see him in the next year or two
When he's doing good, maybe they'll
on
feel
his
bad.
grind and rise up.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
they'll be
They'll
like,
feel like
damn,
they'll feel regret.
I shouldn't have fucked with him.
Yeah.
He's the man.
No, yeah. So yeah, I 100. They don't give a shit unless you're doing okay. Like if you're doing better than when you
Yeah,
left off,
exactly.
then they get hurt. But other than that, they don't give a shit.
They have no emotions. They have no raw emotions.
It's just with us guys. It's
Yeah.
just us guys. We're like dispendable a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we can be let go. You know what I mean? Like you see how it is. We're the
Ring light. Hey, he's still interviewing. What is he interviewing? Modern day.
we interviewing us, bro. No, but yeah. So
Expendable.
yeah, I feel like
Disposable.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Which, as a guy,
feel the opposite.
is
I feel
cool.
like- I feel
It's
like women
fine
are
actually.
disposable
Gives us a little
in that
layer,
sense.
extra layer. But that's what it is. Like everybody should know. Like 100%. I feel like, from my experience, women feel like we're disposable easily. There could be a next one.
How would you feel about a 40-year-old guy dating a 19-year-old chick?
I think it's wrong. No. I think the 40-year-old should accept responsibility and understand that that is completely not okay. And it's not, she's a full-grown adult, but I don't think it's okay. No, I don't.
But it's okay for a woman to sell herself on OnlyFans at 18 and get railed on camera for money, but not enter a consensual relationship.
So this is where I just kind of lean on my faith. Sorry, hot take, but my faith, no, I don't think it's ever worth putting yourself out there to the internet. I do not believe in that, but that's a personal thing. You do you, make your money. But no, I think they're both wrong.
I would like to chime in and just let y'all know I made more money from my sugar daddy than I did from my
Absolutely.
full-time job
Oh,
that I have a college
respectfully.
degree for.
Oh, respectfully. No, same. No, me as well. Yeah, absolutely. So I did the same thing, but I will say that my experience as a 24-year-old having a sugar daddy and a 19-year-old having a sugar daddy were very, very different. And I think that I made better decisions as a 24-year-old than I did as a 19-year-old. And I would stand by my decisions as a 24-year-old than a 19-year-old.
Okay.
So I'm more confident in my work I did as a 24-year-old than I was as a 19-year-old with a sugar daddy. So I feel like my adulthood brought me more wisdom with sugar daddies. And so when I was 19, I would take it back if I could.
Do you think there are any benefits to having a whole phase after a breakup?
What do you mean? Sometimes, yes. I feel like it lets your character really show and just, I don't know, you've been through so much. Sometimes it's good to let it, all out, in a sense. Maybe not, all the bad things, but I think it's fun and it's good to get attention when you weren't given it from someone you thought, was supposed to give you attention.
It's kind of like an ego trip, I think, that people
Yeah,
go
built
on
up your
after, like,
confidence.
shit doesn't work out. It's like, I don't know. I feel like people's confidence wavers, and they need to find something or someone to tell them they're pretty and say all the things they need to hear, and people do it, whatever, you know.
But I mean, how can a woman really benefit from getting railed by multiple dudes to try and fill an emotional void?
It depends what you define as a hoe
How
phase.
do men get by with railing multiple girls for no emotional feel?
I feel like hoe stage can be taken differently though. Like that's like talking to multiple boys, or it's banging a bunch of men. I don't know. Sometimes just talking to men and flirting with them, and texting them is, I don't know. Like I said, it's good to get attention and feel pretty.
It's good, a confidence booster.
Yeah.
I think it depends all on what a woman defines as a quote-unquote hoe phase.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like some people, when they hear hoe phase, they think of sex and sex with multiple different people all the time. I think some other people, to a lesser extreme, think of just flirting around and playing the field because you're single now, so you can flirt around and talk to people and go on dates. Like, it all depends on what your hoe phase is, and I think that there's nothing wrong with either if that is what it takes to get you back into the dating world. Then I think that all women should do them. But I mean, it is all up to women, and it is their body, so they can do as they please. I feel like it shouldn't matter what other women do.
Do you think men want women who dress provocatively or modestly?
I would say more modest. Me personally, I'm not going to sit out there and flaunt everything I have out to the public. So like with this, I'm just like, jeans and a t-shirt. You don't need to have your titties out 24/7.
Okay. So is it fair for a chick to get catcalled if she has her titties out then?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like she's asking for it almost. But then again, it's like, be confident in what you're wearing, but also, you have it coming. You can't say like, oh, I'm not sure why you did that. Well, I mean, you're wearing lingerie in the middle of the street.
So why do they expect not to be objectified if they're literally objectifying themselves?
I don't know. I don't understand the women brain half the time. I really don't.
So how would you feel if I said a lot of women would just say, well, men objectify us anyways?
I mean, I would guess they do. I mean, I've never really been objectified with anything, Like I said, I've been in a relationship, but then again, being out of one, I still feel kind of conservative, and I'm like, oop, not gonna wear that out. Too much. Not gonna do it.
All right. Do you want to date a guy who's older or younger than you?
I've always dated guys that are younger than me.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. How about you?
I'm 23, but I mean, I've done both. It doesn't depend on the age, it depends on how mature they are.
What do you prefer though?
It depends on how mature they are. It doesn't depend on age. Like, I don't care the age as long as they prove.
So you would date an 18-year-old guy as long as he was mature?
I have.
Oh, no, because I'm 23. I usually date people younger than me, but I mean, sometimes older, mostly older, but it depends.
So which one is it?
I am not.
What do you prefer?
I am not going to date an 18-year-old.
So you prefer a guy who's at least?
When you switch it, when I was 18 as a girl, I'm not going to date a guy that's 23. So when I flip that, that's just like, I don't know.
So you prefer a guy who's at least how old?
So I'm 23. I'm 23. I'd like a guy that's at least 20 because I feel like you're mature enough to handle like somebody, like you're mature enough to have someone else in your life.
At least 21 because I like to go out. But like, I'm not going to say that's like a rule because I've dated younger.
How do you feel about sex on the first night?
That is, what's the word for it? That is recreational. That's recreational. So she give me sex on the first night, she's recreational.
Nah, I look at it differently. If you get sex on the first night, I think that you find a girl that you like, you hit it off with her, and everything is right. You might end up having sex on that first night because that's just that connection that's there.
Yeah, but I feel like 3 years later.
And although at the end of the day, the next day, it might feel like, damn, gave it up too easy, this and that, but human raw emotion comes into play, and sometimes you can't fight it. Sometimes people just You know, they go for it. You know, they can't
I don't
help
agree with him,
themselves.
but yeah.
So do you think that
Well,
whether
I mean, he's talking in dating terms. I mean, I'm talking, you know.
so you think it's recreational? You think it could lead to something else? That's the category you'd keep her in. Do you really think that the fact that you've had sex either on the first night versus maybe on date number 3, that's really going to make a difference on how that relationship is going to end?
Oh man, bro, if you want me to get crazy, like, the thing is, if we're giving advice to women, do not fuck. Stop having sex. If you want a relationship, keep your shit to yourself, and that's it. And then you'll find the right guy. That's it. Like, we don't want something pulled over, bro. We just don't want it.
No,
So you truly believe if a chick gives it up on the first night, you're not the first guy who she's done that to,
No shot.
and you won't be the
She
last.
really likes sex. She really likes sex.
No, I can agree
it's
with
unfortunate.
that, too.
I hate it.
I can agree with that too.
It's
It'll
too
be fun
much.
for the night, but
It's recreational, bro.
listen, if it's that easy, then who else would it have been that easy for, you know?
Have you ever had a hoe phase before?
A whole what?
A hoe phase.
A whole face.
A hoe phase.
No.
A hoe face. A hoe face. Like, have you ever been a hoe?
No.
Why haven't you like at least test out the waters to see if you know?
I mean, I test waters, but I'm not a hoe.
So what's the difference? So what's the difference between testing the waters and being a hoe?
Big difference.
What is it? What's the difference?
Being a hoe, you just fuck anybody. Testing the water, you test, you have options. You're selective with what you test. Being a hoe, you just fuck anybody.
No, is it?
I'm done with this conversation.
Wait, hold on though. Don't run away. Don't run away.
Thank you.
Don't run away. Is it? And she's running away. She's run off. She's run off. Do you want to date a guy who's older or younger than you?
Way older.
Older.
Why?
Maturity.
Maturity.
Money.
Has his life figured out.
Career.
More stable.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think a guy's looking for? A younger chick or an older chick?
Younger.
Okay. So you said much older. How old are you?
24.
Okay. What's the oldest you date?
40.
Okay. So how do you feel about a 40-year-old guy dating a chick that was like 19?
I would wait till 21 at least.
Yeah.
What if she has a fake?
I still think you should wait till they're 21.
Why?
Well, I wouldn't date anyone who's under 21.
You want to be able to date
Go to
someone that's
drink,
legally
yeah.
able to buy a drink.
But I mean, if that guy's like providing though, you know what I'm saying, and he has shit taken care of, does it really matter if she can drink alcohol or not?
I mean, it also depends on the.
I guess it depends on the people, but
Yeah.
I still say at least 21.
Yeah, I'm sticking to 21.
Sticking.
I'm sticking to 21.
Okay. What's your type?
Tall, athletic, funny.
Tall, blonde, athletic football player.
You.
Dating a football player.
Yeah.
So after dating a football player, let's say if you guys broke up, would you be open to dating a guy who worked at Target?
Probably not. A little downgrade. You gotta upgrade everyone, you know?
So essentially, why do you think women don't date down?
Don't date what?
Down.
Down?
Yeah.
Just because they expect more. The next one? From the next one? Yeah.
Okay. So as you get older, do you think dating is going to become easier or harder for you?
Harder. In college, it's easy.
I'd say a little bit harder, but a little bit easier because you slim down your options. You figure out what you like.
But it's not really easy if you're going for the top tier guys.
Yeah, but
Go
I
look
mean,
for
if
the
you're
bankers.
at top of the league, like
Look up their salary.
Okay. So how old are you now?
23.
23. Let's flip it. Let's
How
say
old do you think I am?
I think you're like 22.
23.
All right, 23. All right, so let's flip it, right? Let's say you're 32.
Okay.
Do you
Then
thi-
I'll lower my standards. Sorry. Go ahead. Ask your question. I cut you off.
You're good. So let's say you're 32. Do you think that the top tier guys are going to be going for women who are your age or younger?
Probably younger.
Wait.
But like once they see a prize, you know, they gotta bag it.
How do you feel about sex on the first night?
Let me talk to that. Coming from someone who used to be a part of the world and valued that as a reason to even go out. You know, we can be for real and be honest with this. a lot of men, especially when we get together, like if I was really with my boys and we're like, yo, we really going to go on a night out. The objective is ultimately that. Let's be for real. If I'm going to go out to a spot here, my objective is to put on my finest, to smell the best, to dress the best, to look the best, ultimately to present myself to the opposite sex in hopes that I will secure that bag. But the reality of that is simply existing in the world. And that's what a lot of men do, and that's where a lot of men operate from.
That's where a lot of men stay.
That's where a lot of men stay. And so for me, looking at that as that's the reason why I used to typically go out, but being saved and being regenerated in the image of Christ, I could care less about that. I keep it for real. I've been on semen retention for almost a year. I've been celibate. I haven't been having sex, and I've totally removed myself from the world because ultimately that is a low vibrational destructive behavior. There's no benefit that I can gain from truly existing in that realm. And so as a result, looking at it from hindsight and a different perspective than ultimately existing in it, taking a step back and looking at the perspective of people that operate in it, including myself, I ultimately decided that, yes, that is a destructive behavior. But really, once I found Christ and I found and exhibit that love that he gives to us, it felt that void that I was trying to find in the women that I was pursuing as I was existing in the world. And so for me, it's the reality of this. I will never be replenished from the love that, or potentially that void that they can fill me. I might go out on a Friday night, find a woman, take her back home, pump and dump, boom. Next weekend, the same ordeal. But ultimately, it's going to be a continuous cycle until I really find the contentment that I'm looking for. And ultimately, that satisfaction comes from the love of God. And once I found that, I gave up that lifestyle.
I know that you're drunk. Yeah. Tell me what you want after this club. You know you're nasty. Don't move around in my house, call a taxi.